What's up, guys? Here making a YouTube video tonight. I'll probably edit it and hopefully in the next week. I don't know if I mentioned this on Instagram or my last YouTube video or any of those who follow me, but I'm moving sooner than later. I found out less than 2 weeks before, but at least I'm getting out of this place in less than 2 weeks, so I'm gonna stay with a family member for a little while longer, and you know, chill with some friends and get some other shit done before I leave Florida for a little while. I mean, who knows if I'll visit? I would like to visit, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, in the meantime, I've been trying to call jobs and shit in Atlanta, and I called a few today that seemed like they could work. I mean, we'll have to see, but one of them seemed super into me. We were talking for like 20 minutes. It was this girl for this kava place. So it's kind of like a kava bar, but a little more than that. It's like it does wholesale and shit like that, but we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I mean, I don't have a place yet in Atlanta. We're still looking, me and the other people and my siblings. And from what I hear, like, I've joined some Facebook groups in Atlanta, and I've heard this from other family members. I have family members who live in Atlanta or have lived there, and they're like, yeah, the traffic's super bad. And in the Facebook group I was in, I joined one called Moving to Georgia, and people were saying like it's worse than LA, it's worse than like Miami and shit. So it's like, you know, I really would rather find a job that, you know, is somewhat like a 30-minute radius if the traffic's that bad. Because even here, like, I'm not even in Miami, I'm a little north of Miami, but the traffic gets really bad, and it's just like, I can't imagine it being so much worse, you know. And time management is not something I'm good at the moment. So yeah, let's hope I can I'll take anything that I'd want for now, but let's hope it's not too far across Atlanta or anything. But all right, so today we're going over 3 LPs that are underrated, at least in my opinion, in the artist disco. Yeah, so let me see it. 2 of them are Finnish black metal, and one of them's a Ukrainian black metal band, and it's not Nocturnal Mortem for once. But before we get into that, I'm going to show you guys the newest record that that arrived today. Onyx Blade, Quintessence of the Shadow Sword. Got this cool little flyer thing for the shirt. It's a black LP, obviously. I believe there's a poster in here. But yeah, so it's ironic. I saw someone post this today that people are already trying to resell this for like $300 fucking dollars. And yeah, I only recently started getting into like Torture Palace releases, and maybe I've listened to some before. I just didn't make note that it was Torture Palace. But yeah, I was talking to another guy, and we're like, yeah, it's probably gonna be another Blood and Crescent if it isn't by now, which really fucking sucks. But I mean, what can you do? But when I ordered this, I mean, there's 250 copies. This is like 102 out of 250. But when the place that pressed it, Torture Palace, when they put it on sale, it was there for a little while, but you know, well less than 24 hours it was gone. But I think it was there for a couple hours at the very least. But now you see people trying to resell this shit for $300. It's probably going to go faster and faster with each like drop or any like certain bands and shit. So that's really unfortunate to hear. But besides the point, I've only listened to this twice, and I haven't even listened to the vinyl yet because my turntable's out of commission at the moment. Me and my friend, before I leave Florida, he's going to try to fix it. But besides the point, this will definitely be one of the first records I spin once it's fixed. And yeah, really excited to hear it. I've heard it twice on YouTube. I just heard it just now, just before I made this video, or before I start making this video. So I was like, let me revisit this. I really want to save a lot of it for, you know, when I play the vinyl. But I slipped up since my record player kind of got fucked up a couple weeks ago. But no, what can you do? But yeah, so now we'll get over 3 LPs that are underrated, at least in my opinion, in artist disco. The first one would be Clattenstein Blaze, his Archive Demo 1. Show you guys the back. It's just a black LP, no need to pull it out. How many songs? You got like 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, about 10, 9, 10, 11. I think Miko's demos in Clattenstein Blaze are super fucking great. This is actually the only Clattenstein Blaze I have. I've heard a fair amount of the full lengths, but I actually haven't heard them all yet. He has a lot of material under this project, plus all his noise projects and his other black metal project. Maybe he has multiple, but I know another one. I don't know how to pronounce it, of course. But I think there's a lot of songs on here that aren't talked about as much. Like one, for example, Funeral of oh no, it's actually on demo 2. But Anti-Christian Warfare. His title track, Clandestine Blaze, is really good. Irons of Torture. I mean, the whole thing's really good. Hammer and Nails to Tearing Down Jerusalem's really good as well. I think a lot of standout tracks are on this. I think Demo 2 is my favorite out of the 3 archive demos, but to me that'd be kind of obvious for a lot of people. I mean, that's Fist of the Northern Destroyer and shit. That's obviously not an underrated song by him, but I think there's a lot of good standout tracks on this demo, and I would venture to say a lot of people don't talk about his archive demos as much as his full lengths, maybe for good reason, but I think this demo in particular has a lot of tracks that don't get brought up when you mention Clandestine Blaze. But yeah, I mean, I got this on eBay. Man, it's probably been about a year and a half by now. It's kind of crazy it's been that long. I remember I was just on a phase of listening to Clandestine Blaze constantly, and I saw the cover of Demo 2, and I didn't listen to it yet. I mean, I've heard some songs on it, but I didn't really listen to the full demo. I'm like, damn, that shit looks tough, man. I really like the album cover. And yeah, I just made it a priority to get the 3 demos, so yeah, it worked out. I remember I ordered it from eBay, and it was from a record store in Cali. And I don't know how the fuck this happened. Like, I paid for it, right? And the shipping was like normal shipping, like $5-7 or some shit. But I don't know how. I ordered it like a Monday or Tuesday, and it came in like 3 days. And to me, that was so weird because shipping was normal, and yeah, it just came so fast from Cali. You know, I'm in South Florida. I don't know how the fuck it took that long. I remember being like surprised. I'm like, what the fuck? How did this come so fast? But I don't know. Maybe if they somehow added the shipping to the price to make it look a certain way or some shit, they could have done that and just used like more expensive shipping. But who knows? But we'll get to the next record. What's up, guys? So the next record is, like I said, a Ukrainian black metal band, and it's a very well-known one, so I guess it makes more sense to have a record by them that could be considered underrated, because obviously if it's super more obscure or more underground, it's kind of like common sense. A lot of their material could be underrated, but besides the point, it is Hate Forest's Battlefields. And obviously people who've listened to this band's disco know this album in particular is pretty far out compared to everything else before and after. You see the logo kind of clear, which is pretty cool. Album cover. So obviously this record is a hit or miss for a lot of people for obvious reasons. It's not their more fucking blast beat central, fucking guttural, fucking, you know, triumphant fucking battle, you know, just fucking, you know, just super heavy, super fast. And this obviously puts more emphasis on atmosphere and the war in Ukraine, and not the current one. I mean, this was a while ago, but, you know, just, I mean, as far as I know, Ukraine's only been an independent country since, what, like the early 90s. So, you know, it's like, you know, I'm not saying it's specifically on that, but, you know, the struggles of Ukraine. It's just about war in general and shit like that. But I'll show you guys the back. And yeah, like I said, it's on atmosphere. Oh yeah, and obviously there's a lot, all the songs are super doomy. I actually haven't listened to this in a while, but I'm pretty sure every other track's like a Ukrainian woman singing or some type of like instrumental in Ukrainian, or at least a couple of the tracks are like that. Honestly, I should even be going over this record right now. I haven't listened to this in fucking probably about a year maybe. But I do remember enjoying it and being very intrigued by like how that's not what I expected when I, you know, first listened to it. I mean, I listened to it before I got the record, but, you know, when I first listened to it, when I was getting into Hate Force, I was like, oh, that's way different. And it took a couple listens for me to fully appreciate it. But, you know, I still spin this from time to time. But yeah, it's been a little while. I'll show you guys the variant. Oh yeah, got that. It's the right way. I got some abandoned, blown up buildings. And like I said, emphasis on war, but in a more atmospheric and doomy sense. I'll show you guys the variant. I mean, the variant's nothing like crazy, but still worth showing. Cool white marble LP. Can't go wrong with that. Put this back in real quick. Give me a sec. Sometimes it's gonna be a pain in the ass, this type of record sleeves. But yeah, it's probably common sense to a lot of how this is underrated, since it's just so much different than anything else they've done. And if I'm gonna be completely honest, I actually have not heard their record Sorrow. Like, I've heard bits and pieces of it, but I don't think I've given it like a full like listen. I've been a fan of Hate Force for a good amount, you know, compared to how long I've been into black metal, which isn't that long, but still compared, you know, I mean, Hate Force has been good almost 3 years at least, so it's kind of weird that I haven't listened to that record yet. And I think they released an EP last year that I still haven't too. I remember I heard a clip of it. I was like, holy shit, I was really impressed, and I now regret not getting it. Maybe I'm sure somewhere still has it, but yeah, Hate Forces, Battlefields. Like I said, atmosphere, doomy, all that. That's what it's more puts emphasis on compared to the other shit, which is super aggressive, blast beats, super heavy. But we'll get on to the last record. That over there. Yeah, so it looks like this record's gonna be a good bit shorter. Nothing wrong with that, but I probably should have done maybe 4 records to make it a bit longer. But not the end of the world. So the next record's another Finnish black metal band, like I said, and this is just obvious. I mean, everyone knows this. Everyone knows this album, and everyone who's a fan of this artist probably likes this album. But it's more so compared to his other full lengths that this album kind of gets thrown under the rug more than often. But I wouldn't say it because it's bad. Maybe because a lot more people like his full lengths a lot better. But with the album I'm about to show you guys, I think there's a lot of amazing good parts, a lot of good tracks. So we'll get to it. It is Satanic War Master's 4th full length, and starts with an N. I honestly have no idea how to say this. I probably should have put it into like Google Audio or some shit and try to see how it sounds. I should probably do that before a lot of videos, but yeah, show you guys the back. Obviously, you got 8 tracks. You got the cool werewolf photo, the signature Satanic Tyrant Werewolf. Show you guys the variant. Obviously, it's super fitting of what the variant is. It's a gray LP. That. Put this back in real quick. There. And yeah, obviously this came with a poster, but it's hanging up on my wall right above me. Sick poster. It's actually double-sided, so you can switch it around from time to time and change it up. But yeah, like I said, I don't know how to say this. I don't even really want to try to say it because I feel like it sounds so stupid. But everyone knows this album, like I said. Everyone who's a fan of anything outside the basic-ass black metal knows Satanic War Master and probably listened to this album and the rest of his albums. It's got 8 tracks, and it's got some of his, bangers. Like I said, this isn't like compared to that Hate Force record or Clandestine Blaze or any of that. Like, even though those projects are known, I feel like this is just way more up in terms of considering something underrated. But yeah, like I said before, it's just because compared to his full lengths, I mean, Strength and Honor, which is my personal favorite by Satanic War Master, and then obviously CSM, which is the obvious, is crown jewel. Off for Blue, I've heard a lot of people say Off for Blue, it's their favorite, and Fimbulwinter, I mean, to me, Fimbulwinter, no matter how polished it is, it still has that edge to it that I would consider underrated because it's just so many good moments. I mean, I like every track, but yeah, I don't think Fimbulwinter's underrated compared to this at least. And then you have Eamon Gander and his newest album, and I don't think it's fair to say any new album that's barely a month old should be considered underrated. And Eamon Gander, I could have said maybe that's underrated. I think that it'd either be this or Eamon Gander. The only reason I probably didn't choose Eamon Gander, if I'm saying that right, by the way, but I actually really like that album. Not my favorite, but I like every song. And besides the point, the reason I probably said that wasn't underrated just because I guess I get the distaste of why people don't like it more than like this or anything. I mean, it's super melodic and just the imagery, the album cover is not, your average werewolf material or black metal in general. But besides the point, I really actually like that album. I have no complaints on that. But yeah, this is why I chose this album, because compared to the rest of his full lengths, and especially compared, this is more his classic era. Like, you could say up to CSM is his most classic era material, but I think this is just right there as well. Like, anything past this would be more newer or not his classic shit, but I would say this is like the end of like classic Satanic War Master. Not necessarily a change in sound or anything, just, it's just kind of like his peak of classic shit. But like I said, people could argue it ends at CSM, but I still would consider this. Which is why I say it's underrated, because, a lot of people just don't discuss this album and stuff like that. I mean, you have Satan's Werewolf, which is, a classic. War Master Returns, I mean, everyone knows that's one of his best songs. It's probably the most notable song on here. Vampires is really good. It has the infamous quote, what is it? We are the worms that crawl on the wings of a broken angel. I mean, that's epic, from Satanic War Master. I really want that compilation that's called that. That's really on my want list for sure. What else? One Shining Star is one of the best. Bestial Darkness is probably a more heavy, aggressive song, but it's probably my least favorite. And my favorite track is Rotting Raven's Blood. I mean, that's the basically the finale of the track, and I was gonna see if there's lyrics on here. I can't remember, but oh, there is lyrics on here. Yeah, so yeah, I mean that track is like super catchy, and it's probably the longest track. And yeah, I don't think like he could have made a perfect or a better finisher for this whole art piece. And the last track, which is a dungeon synth, it's probably what, like 3-4 minutes maybe. I kind of wish like with Winter. It's only on the CD version, sadly. I hope there's ever a vinyl version or a repress of Winter. They add the fucking dungeon synth track. What is it? Key to Silent Moon Temple or whatever. It's like a little over 8 minutes. It's probably one of the best dungeon synth tracks I ever heard, and I really hope they include it on a vinyl repress one because it's only on the CD as far as I know. But with this track right here, don't know how to pronounce it, but I think it's a little shorter. It's like 3 or 4 minutes. I wish he kind of expanded that, like maybe made it like 5 or 6 minutes at least, because like I said, on Winter, like that dungeon synth track is amazing, and this one's really good too. I just totally would have been down for it to be a little longer, but it's good how it is, you know. So can't really complain overall, but like I said, would have liked it to be longer. But yeah, that's what I would say as his most underrated album compared to his full lengths. And like I said, he has a lot of, you know, side material, even just under Satanic War Master alone, like splits, EPs and shit. So there's probably a lot more shit you can consider underrated with Satanic War Master. And then you could go even the next step further with the True Werewolf, Orlok, or his heavy metal project, or any other shit he's been involved in as underrated werewolf material. But yeah, obviously we're focusing on Satanic War Master. But alright guys, so that'll probably be the end of this video. Like I said, clips on Instagram and TikTok a few times to promote it, which is Antichrist Vomit Chalice, and obviously it'll be on my YouTube, which is deathspells_666. Yeah, so this is probably going to be my last video before I move to Atlanta. So next video you see me recording, it will be in a different room, and hopefully I can get some posters like when I record it, because I have a lot more posters I haven't hung up when I moved here. Like my last room with my older videos, you saw a bunch of posters behind it, so definitely want to make that more ideal, because it looks way cooler. But all right guys, thanks for watching.